That outboard hanging off the back of your boat right now. You trust it. You maintain it. You probably changed the oil yourself last spring, swapped the impeller, maybe even pulled the lower unit. You feel good about that. You feel like you know your motor. What nobody's telling you is that your engine's brain has a lock on it, and you don't have the key. Your mechanic doesn't have the key. The guy down at the marina who's been fixing outboards since before you were born, he doesn't have the key either. The only people who have it are sitting inside an authorized dealership, billing at $180 an hour, and they might be booked out 3 weeks. I spent an embarrassing amount of time going down this rabbit hole. We're talking weeks of reading forum threads where guys are stranded at the dock because of a software code that a 15-minute reset would fix. And the more I dug, the worse it got. So let me walk you through exactly how Mercury, Yamaha, and Suzuki quietly took away your ability to fix your own boat. Mercury Marine sells a product called VesselView. You've probably seen it. Nice touchscreen displays, the 7-inch 703 model, the 9-inch 903, even a Bluetooth module that pairs with your phone. Plug it into Mercury's SmartCraft network and you get over 30 engine parameters in real time. RPM, fuel flow, water temperature, oil pressure, trim position, battery voltage, even active fault codes in plain English on the screen. Sounds great, right? It is great. Until something actually breaks. Because VesselView will happily show you what's wrong with your engine. It just won't let you do a single thing about it. Clearing a stored fault code? No. Calibrating the electronic compass? No. Programming injector coefficients after you replace an injector? Absolutely not. Updating your engine firmware? Not a chance. Every one of those functions requires Mercury's dealer-only diagnostic computer called the CDS G3. And I personally think this is the most frustrating part of the whole setup, because Mercury designed a consumer product that diagnoses the problem and then forces you to pay someone else to press the clear button. The CDS G3 hardware runs about $800 to $1,000 for the interface kit. Add the annual software license, and you're looking at $1,500 to $1,800 per year. But money isn't actually the barrier. Mercury requires a valid dealer identification number and a dealership phone number just to activate the software. It phones home to Mercury's servers every 45 days to revalidate your license. Miss that check-in, and you get one 5-day grace period before the entire system bricks itself. A dealer on a Club C Ray forum admitted that everything done through their CDS G3 gets logged under their dealer profile, and letting someone else use it could cost them their Mercury dealership agreement. And if you're wondering how that's even legal, so is everyone else. But here's the detail that everyone missed at the time Mercury rolled this out. There's a feature on modern Mercury outboards called Guardian Mode. When the engine computer detects a problem, low oil pressure, overheating, low battery voltage, it automatically throttles your motor down. 50% of max RPM for overheating. Down to 10% for low oil pressure on 4 strokes. This happens while you're on the water. And the theory is fine, it protects the engine. The problem is that Guardian Mode can get stuck. Even after you physically fix whatever triggered it, a stored fault code in the computer can keep Guardian active. Your engine sits there at 1300 RPM and refuses to give you more until a dealer plugs in the CDS G3 and clears the code. A guy on the Hull Truth with a 2007 Mercury Verado 250 got towed in after Guardian Mode locked his engine down from a throttle position sensor fault. He spent over a year replacing harnesses, command modules, potentiometers, and throttle bodies trying to fix it. Thousands of dollars. The actual problem turned out to be a $50 MAP sensor that a proper diagnostic scan would have found in minutes. $50 and a 15-minute software reset. Instead, he spent a year and a small fortune because he couldn't access his own engine's computer. And if that were the only manufacturer pulling this, Mercury might take all the heat. But Yamaha is running the same playbook with different branding. Yamaha's system is called Command Link. Nice digital displays, real-time engine data, basic fault code numbers you can pull up by holding the mode button on your tachometer. Yamaha even used to let consumers buy the full diagnostic software called YDIS. Used to. Yamaha USA made a deliberate decision to stop letting dealers sell YDIS to customers. They actually raised the price above $1,000 specifically to discourage private buyers before pulling it from consumer sale entirely. Their reasoning, as far as anyone can tell, is that YDIS can also reset the YCOP anti-theft system, and Yamaha doesn't want that capability floating around. So now, even something as trivial as a stored code 28 for an accidental in-gear start, which is completely harmless, permanently lives in your engine's ECU. It cannot be cleared without a laptop running Yamaha's dealer software. Your engine will literally display a message telling you to contact your Yamaha dealer until a tech runs their scan tool. I actually laughed when I read that because it's the marine equivalent of your printer refusing to print because the cyan is low when you're printing in black and white. There are aftermarket tools that partially fill the gap. The Can-Do Pro covers Yamaha engines for about $40 a year. The OBD Star iScan runs around $370, but neither one replicates the full dealer toolset, and owners report compatibility issues with newer model years. Suzuki rounds out the big three with their SDS diagnostic system. Without it, your diagnostic options on a Suzuki Outboard are literally counting blink codes by shorting the diagnostic plug with a paperclip. And no, I'm not making that up. One frustrated owner on the Suzuki Outboard forum posted that he tried 3 different aftermarket diagnostic systems on 3 different computers and none of them worked. Suzuki appears to have built proprietary defenses into the software that reject cloned tools. And then there's Honda. I almost didn't include Honda because the number sounds made up. Honda's marine diagnostic system, called Dr. H, requires a $10,000 dealer buy-in plus minimum annual sales volume to maintain access. $10,000 just for the privilege of talking to the engine computer. So yeah, not great. Now, everything I just showed you about these diagnostic lockouts, that's one piece of a much bigger picture. I put months of teardowns, dealer paperwork, and repair data into what I'm calling the bilge files. Inside, you get the dealer-decoded playbook, the $50 fix Bible with 15 repair shops charge $300 to $800 for that cost under $50, and the Outboard blacklist, engines to avoid and the ones mechanics actually buy for themselves. 6 guides. No sponsors. $19.99. Links in the description. Alright, so here's where things get really interesting. Because everything I just described, the proprietary tools, the dealer-only software, the repair lockouts, all of it already happened in another industry. And that industry just got dragged into federal court. Farmers have been fighting John Deere over this exact same issue for years. Deere's dealer-only service advisor tool forced farmers to haul tractors 300 or 400 miles to the nearest authorized shop, sometimes waiting weeks during harvest season. A public interest report estimated farmers lose billions annually in downtime and pay over $1 billion extra in inflated repair costs. In January 2025, the FTC filed an antitrust lawsuit against Deere, joined by attorneys general from Illinois, Minnesota, Michigan, Wisconsin, and Arizona. A federal judge denied Deere's motion to dismiss the case in June 2025, noting that the company entirely controls who may perform restricted repairs and how much dealers can charge. That case is headed to trial in 2026. This decision seemed small at the time. It wasn't, because the legal theory behind the Deere case applies directly to marine engines. In February 2026, the EPA issued guidance confirming that the Clean Air Act does not justify restricting access to repair tools or software. Marine outboards are regulated under the same Clean Air Act provisions as tractors. The DMCA already has a specific exemption covering marine vessel repair, first granted in October 2021 and renewed in 2024. That means circumventing software locks to diagnose or fix your own boat is explicitly protected under federal copyright law. And yet, no state or federal law specifically requires marine engine manufacturers to open their diagnostic systems. None. The National Marine Manufacturers Association has been lobbying against right-to-repair bills since at least 2020. Their argument, and I want you to hear this clearly because it's the most backwards logic in this entire story, is that allowing consumers to repair their own engines could be dangerous because they might get stranded on the water. The industry's defense against giving you repair access is that you might get stranded, the thing that their software locks are already causing. Right now. To real people. On real water. Here's what the last decade actually took from you. Around 2015, an independent mechanic with a couple $100s in aftermarket diagnostic cables could handle almost every repair on a Mercury Optimax or a Yamaha F15. Oh, battery disconnects could reset ECUs on most or port-injected four-strokes. Evinrude's diagnostic software was freely available on owner forums. Those days are gone. On a 2025 Mercury V8300 or a Yamaha 425 XTO, that same mechanic is locked out of injector replacement because each injector has unique flow coefficients that must be written to the computer. Locked out of ECU swaps because the new module has to be coded to the engine serial number through dealer software. Locked out of throttle calibration, trim reprogramming, fly-by-wire configuration, and break-in mode management. You can still change your oil. You can still swap a prop. Anything beyond that, and you either spend $4,000 to $6,000 on a Jaltis Marine aftermarket system, or you trailer the boat to the dealer. And unlike your car, which has been required to have a universal OBD2 diagnostic port since 1996, there is no standardized diagnostic protocol for marine engines. Every brand uses proprietary connectors, proprietary cables, and proprietary software. The marine industry is operating in a pre-OBD2 regulatory world while running post-OBD 2 levels of software complexity. That gap is where your money disappears. Remember that Verado owner who spent a year and thousands of dollars chasing a $50 sensor? That's not a horror story. That's Tuesday for a growing number of boat owners across the country. Your authorized dealer charges $120 to $180 an hour. An independent mechanic charges $60 to $100. That's a 30 to 50% markup you're paying, not because the dealer tech is better, but because the dealer is the only one with the software password. As of March 2026, the FTC's case against John Deere is moving toward trial. The EPA has pulled the rug out from under the emissions excuse. The DMCA exemption is in place. State legislatures are debating right-to-repair bills across the country, but the marine industry still sits in a gap that nobody in Washington is specifically looking at. This story isn't over, not even close. Subscribe if you made it to the end, and I'll see you on the next one.